Top of Batman's darkest and most mature moments in animation history that have been explored in detail. The animated world of Batman has some unforgettable moments, and many die-hard fans consider this a perfect representation of the Dark Knight. Most of the animated content is quite mature, although it is intended for children, and there are some complex themes in the mix of things. The disadvantage of comedy is that they always take pictures of people who stole the show with some of these mature concepts, sometimes mixed with entertaining storytelling. The narrative did not pull any punches, leaving some rather dark storylines at the editorial table, while many praise the artistic quality and dark themes appropriate to the Caped Crusader. There are some memorable moments that stick with the fans for their shock, so values. In this video, we have put together some of those heartbreaking and mature moments that left a scar on the fans. Before going into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thanks. Let's get started. Tortures Robin. Batman Beyond the Joker's return. One of the first things that comes to mind is the inhuman torture that Robin had to suffer at the hands of the Joker. The event takes place as part of a flashback in Batman Beyond the Joker's Return, and it seems that the psychopathic clown Prince of Crime. The story takes place in the Gotham City of the 21st century. He is under the care of an elderly Bruce Wayne, and one day he prevents a group of Jokers from stealing a system scanner from Gotham Shipping. Her boss turns out to be Joker himself, and it is soon confirmed that this is the real Joker, who was thought to be dead a few years ago. Hello Gotham, Joker is back in town. Terry will discuss the seriousness of the situation with Barbara Gordon, who warns him about the most dangerous criminal of all time. Meanwhile, Bruce compares the voice with the old records and realizes that the Joker is actually back, but he does not seem ready to tell Terry more about his fights with a real Joker. At that time he even asked Terry. Later, Terry learns from Barbara Gordon about the horrors that happened a few years ago, when he was tricked by Harley Quinn and taken to the Joker for 3 weeks. There was no trace of Tim left, and then Batman and Batgirl found him in the confines of the Arkham Asylum. He was tortured so terribly that the poor guy was brainwashed and drugged. The Joker almost had Robin in a mini version of he transformed himself and made him. To reveal the true identity of Batman. Bruce, it's true, Betsy, I know everything. That an angry Batman attacks the Joker, but he has a disturbed Robin pointing a gun at the Dark Knight. Fortunately, Robin still had a meaning in himself, and he shot Joker instead. Bruce was so battered by this excruciating experience that he vowed not to endanger another young life for his cause. To this day, Terry is not ready to give up the mystery. After a twisted turn of events, he learns that the Joker has implanted a DNA microchip in Tim so that he can continue to live in his body. Tim did not have the slightest idea that he was being used, and Terry. This idea and emotional narrative ends with the fact that Bruce finally overcomes his problems and visits Tim in the hospital. Terry realizes the responsibility for the Caped Crusader and decides to be a better Batman in the future. It might just be part of the story, but the sheer brutality that turned him into something else was a shocking sight for adults. This plot takes the Joker's sadistic and vengeful mind bending to the next level. To my brain asks, can you move this object with your mind? If you stick to Ace Epilogue, Justice League Unlimited and Batman Beyond. This episode of Justice League Unlimited not only illuminates the true identity of Terry, but also upsets the viewers with some emotionally damaging moments. The episode starts with Terry storming Amanda Waller's apartment. He is visibly upset and he desperately needs answers. That he found out sometime earlier that he is Bruce's genetic son, and he was angry with Bruce for keeping it a secret. His whole life seemed to be a big lie that Bruce and Warren McGinnis had invented, apparently was not his real father. My point is, I just found out that Warren McGinnis is not my father. It's you now. He demands answers from Amanda Waller, who tells him a shocking story about when Ace became a serious threat. When she developed her powers from hallucinations to change reality, she founded her own Royal Flush Gang, and Amanda Waller warned Batman that Ace would die from a brain aneurysm. Her death would lead to massive destruction and loss of human life, and therefore had to be a special weapon to kill her and stop the chaos. Batman was the one who volunteered to use the weapon, but because of her mind-reading skills, Ace knew that he had no plans to kill her. Instead, he asked her to undo the changes, and the Dark Knight seemed to be referring to her about her lost childhood. Ace knew that she was going to die and she just wanted Batman to stay with her in the last moments. Could you stay with me? I'm afraid he fulfilled. The world has returned to normal. This also drew Amanda Waller's attention to the compassionate side of the Caped Crusader. She became an ally and realized that the world would need another Batman after the latter was too old or dead. Terry was born a year later as the son of Mary and Warren, but genetically he was Batman's son. Amanda Waller even had plans to kill Terry's parents, but decided to spare them, but as luck would have it, Terry's father was killed later and he had a similar life path. Terry reconciles with Bruce and we see them enjoying a nice moment with father and son. While overall this was a heartwarming story, the tragic ending of Ace, while Batman was keeping her company, made many fans tear apart Freeze. That's Mr. Freeze for them. Mr. Freeze Origin Heart of Ice Batman the animated series. There were a number of mysterious robberies in various offices of Goth Corp, which were carried out with the help of a freeze gun. This weapon is able to create a cold wave strong enough to create ice and snow blankets. Batman gets involved in the mystery and finds out that the larger version of this freezing gun could be strong enough to freeze an entire city. He guesses the next target of the thief and arrests the gang, the leader of which calls himself Mr. Freeze and even freezes Batman with a blow of his freeze gun. He realizes that the man behind Corp. It turns out that there was a disgruntled researcher who died in a laboratory accident. Upon further investigation, Batman discovers that the story presented to him was completely wrong. The so-called researcher was a man named Victor Fries and he put his terminally ill wife into cryogenic stasis in order to buy himself some time to find a cure for her. But since he was using company equipment without proper authorization, his financing was spied on and his wife was allowed to die while he watched helplessly. How Batman uncovers the tragic past of Victor aka Mr. Freeze. The latter appears and blows him up with a shot from his freezer gun. He explains that after the accident he can only survive in a minus suit and he keeps Batman as his partially frozen prisoner. Tonight I want to repay the man who ruined my life. The Dark Knight is trying to reason with him, but Mr. Freeze is determined to take revenge. When Batman finally manages to free himself and confront him, he has already come to Mr. Boyle, the man he wanted to punish all the time. Just when Mr. Freeze wants to completely freeze Boyle, Batman pours hot soup on his helmet and the temperature difference tears the helmet. Mr. Freeze is paralyzed as soon as his suit is compromised, but Batman assures him that justice will be done. He hands over the videotape with the evidence showing how Boyle killed him. Freeze's wife kills and we see the tragic villain in Arkham asking his wife to forgive him for not avenging her death. Freeze was a great example of someone who was simply a victim of circumstances. While we were running his rackets, polished Romaniac Barbara chased him over the edge. Barbara Gordon's death. The New Batman Adventures. This episode from the New Batman Adventures starts with a nightmarish situation. The police raid the Batcave and Batman and Robin are on the run, disappear. At this point they are rescued by Nightwing and Batman begins to explain how the chaos that Batman found Batgirl and Robin Scarecrow in his gang. Batgirl chased him to the ledge of a skyscraper and she fell on the road below. A twisted twist of fate dropped her into a police car and Commissioner Gordon was inside. He is shocked to learn that Barbara Gordon is Batgirl and it's too late because she succumbed to her injuries. Batman took care of the Scarecrow threat, but Gordon was not in the mood to listen to his logic. He was responsible for the death of his daughter and even tried to arresting Batman. The situation continues to worsen when the revelers and Alfred are arrested. Tim suggests that Batman do something to free them, but he refuses. He believes that Commissioner Gordon would not stop until Batman is arrested and orders Tim to leave Gotham. We all know that the world of Batman does not consist of marshmallows and roses, but such dark topics were a little harsh for the young viewers. But these are also the moments who also made the animated content attractive for the older audience and made it a timeless classic. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you don't have a good one yet, and be safe. Thanks to everyone.